All right. So we're
It's
live.
really?
We're live right now. So what's good? It's your boy Mike V. We're tuned into the artist block, and I'm with the Vinessa Burnett. How are you doing today? First off, that's the most important question.
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. It's beautiful weather in Dallas. I got a good run in this morning, and I'm feeling good.
How long did you run? How many miles?
3.77.
I mean, is that like on an average? Like every time you go out there, that's like the average that you want to do.
I would say like 3 miles is typical. 3 miles, about 30 minutes, 35. Feel like you've done something, right? And then, yeah.
So, like, before you had the toe injury, how many miles were you averaging before then?
Before the toe injury, I would say like a typical run would still be 3 miles. I was just running more frequently. So I would probably run maybe like 3 times a week, whereas now it's like once a week. But it's not because my toe still hurts, it's just the toe injury set me back as far as my consistency went. I was out for like 3 months. I couldn't run, couldn't wear heels, couldn't do a lot of things. And then I felt like I was scared to start running again at that same frequency once I was cleared. And then life just happened, and now I'm trying to get back into it.
Right, now you're entering your prime. You know what I'm saying? So
music has taken over in my life.
No, you definitely, you like, I met you at the Love Mike. Shout out to the Love Mike, by the way. But
shout out to the Love Mike Dallas.
Right, Love Mike Dallas, Texas. You was very dope. You was very nice, and I really did enjoy your music. And I was listening to to myself. So like my first question is like how did you find the inspiration to continue to perform live? Like, what keeps you motivated to perform and go out there,
I love how it feels to be on a stage, and it's an interesting feeling because for so long I was like very scared and nervous. Like, even back in like middle school when I would have to perform, I would always freak out. But it makes me feel so alive when I'm on a stage, right? I think there's a feeling of purpose of this is what I'm supposed to be doing, even though it scares me, even though I'm nervous the entire time. It just makes you feel alive and uncomfortable in a good way. And that, I think, is what I keep seeking out, that feeling. And also just getting to connect with the crowd. There's no better feeling than when you're looking out into the audience and people are nodding their head along with you. Some people have started to learn the lyrics to my song, so they're singing along with me. And then once you get off the stage, everybody's cheering, they're happy for you. So it really is a good feeling, and it's addictive in a way, getting on stage.
Well, since you're here, I want to tell you happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
And you're a Taurus?
I am a Taurus.
Okay. So like, how did you enjoy your birthday with your family? Or with your peoples?
Yeah, my family and friends. So I turned 30, the big 30. Give it up.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Yes. And it was amazing. So I had a vision last year of doing what I called a tropical 30th, which was basically me going to a tropical destination on vacation, because I've never done like a birthday trip. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't think I really want to go away from my birthday. I want to be around my community. I want as many people as possible who wants to come and celebrate me to be able to attend. So why not bring the tropics to Dallas?
Absolutely.
And I'm originally from Miami, so anything tropical, that's just core to who I am. And so I planned this 3-day celebration, 3 days for 3 decades. The first day we got dinner, and then we went out. The second night we actually went to a DJ class.
Yeah. And
the third day we had a boat day. So very fitting for the tropical theme. And then throughout that weekend I made my friends dress up in like tropical themed clothes. So like a lot of florals, palm trees, leaves. 3 of my friends flew in for it. My mom flew in. And it was just such a beautiful time. Just being loved on by my community. Shout out to my friends. Shout out to
your family and your friends that came to support you. Now, did you mention DJ class?
Yeah, we took a DJing class.
Do you want to get into the DJ field, or?
I have thought about it. My dad is really into DJing. I mean, he doesn't have all the right equipment or formal knowledge, but he loves just curating playlists. And so we have this vision of us being like a daddy-daughter duo. His name also starts with a V. He's Vincent. I'm Vinessa. So DJ V&V or Vin and Vin. And I would kind of be like the executor, like actually mixing things on the DJ board, but he would be the one coming up with all the songs, the set list. So that's kind of like the long-term vision. But for right now, it's just for fun, dipping my toes in the water.
I can see you doing that. I can see you emerging in that and putting it along with your music. Yeah. Now I see that you play the guitar. Now, how long have you been indulged in that?
Yeah, so My parents like required all of us to learn how to play an instrument, so um, I actually started off in piano when I was in elementary school. I think like first or second grade, and then when I was in fifth grade, that's when I started guitar, and I only took lessons for 2 years from fifth to seventh grade. And then I just kind of forgot about it for a while, and then by the time I was like halfway through high school, it suddenly became cool at my high school to know how to play an instrument. We used to have people perform during lunchtime outside, and I was like, wait a minute, I know how to play the guitar. My parents taught me, or my parents put me in lessons, so dusted off the guitar and started uploading covers on YouTube when I was in high school, and I saw that people liked it. So I just kind of stuck with it all throughout college. I always had a guitar in my dorm room, but I would say only lately has it been like a consistent thing where I'm actually picking up my guitar at least once a week.
Anything else are you interested in learning, like as far as instruments or, you know, just musical instruments?
Ooh, I haven't thought, I feel like I need to get better at my instruments. Definitely need to get better at guitar and piano. I really want to learn how to play by ear. I feel like I can figure things out, but I'm not the kind of person that can hear a song once and then all of a sudden start playing. Yeah, my late grandpa, he was like that. He played all string instruments by ear, which I think is just such a gift, but I would love to be able to get to that level.
Absolutely. So, like, where did you get some of your musical inspiration from? Like, I already asked you the first question, what inspired you to perform live, but where did you get the influence from to, you know, make your music?
Yeah, I think a couple things. One, I grew up in a musical family. I mentioned my late grandpa, he played all string instruments by ear. My dad was and still is always playing music around the house. So we grew up in a household where there was always music, ranging from gospel to R&B, some of your oldies, your classics, even hip hop. And, you know, driving to school, listening to music in the car was just such a ritual for us every morning. So I think just having that sort of upbringing definitely influenced me. I also went to a lot of different schools. I went to a private white Christian school for middle school, and then a predominantly Black and Hispanic public school for high school, right? And so I think around middle school is when I had my musical awakening, and I was like, wow, there's so many genres out there. That's when I started getting more into rock and alternative and indie and some of the influences that you might hear creeping up in my music. And that stayed with me today. I definitely listen to everything. I love going to concerts. And I think that inspires me. And then as far as like the actual like subject matter of my songs, the content of it, I write about my emotions, what I'm going through, what I'm feeling. You'll hear that in my lyrics. There's some vulnerability there, but it's the only thing I know how to write about.
Absolutely.
Is what I'm going through. So whenever I'm going through a difficult situation, sometimes words will come to me, or I'll start to journal, and I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds kind of poetic. I can turn this into a song. But I always say I don't write the songs write themselves. Like, I truly believe that God just gives them to me, and it's just my job to write it down.
No, absolutely. Now, I see you like to go to concerts, but I believe that you're going to be headlining a concert and people are going to come see you one day. Yes, because you're on the right path of doing it the right way, and you have been, from what I've been seeing on your Instagram and everything like that. So just keep on doing the great things that you're doing. Like, I'm for real. So
I appreciate that, and I actually am headlining my first show. It's not a big show by any means.
Promote it.
I will promote it. But it's the first time I'm doing something like this, and it'll be at the Tiny Stage at Be Hippie in Garland on Saturday, May 24th at 8 p.m. And it's just a fun little outdoor stage. But I'm really excited because it'll be my first time doing a true like solo set for I think about an hour and a half is what I've allotted for it, and then I'll have some really great openers. Folks that I've met at the Love Mike Dallas. So it's going to be a good time. Well,
shout out to Be Hippie, because I heard about, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely, and you said, did you already give out the date? Like,
Saturday, May 24th. I don't have a flyer yet, but coming soon.
So Memorial Weekend.
Yes.
Memorial Weekend. Okay, that's really dope. That's really dope. Now, I was looking at your Instagram, and I seen that you've been to France.
I have been to France.
Please, Paris, France. I mean, I've never been, so like, for those who haven't been, like, what is the experiences out there? Like, did you like experience anything to influence you musically, or was it just a good experience even without outside of music?
Yeah, Paris was really cool, and I didn't, I never really had much of a desire to go to Paris. I don't know why, but I actually had to go to London for a work trip, and I was like, well, I'm already in London. I've been to London before. let me take advantage of the fact that I'm in Europe and go somewhere I haven't been. So during that trip, I went to Dublin, Ireland first.
Yeah.
And that was a blast. And then I ended the work trip by going to Paris. So I just took the train from London to Paris, which is super cool because the train is like underwater.
How long is that trip?
It's like a 2-hour train ride.
Oh, really?
Super cool. And so I was by myself in Paris and everybody speaking French. And I didn't even have much of an itinerary. I was just booking things on the fly, which that's my preferred travel style. I know it doesn't work for everybody. Just a very loose itinerary. But I think what surprised me most about Paris that I didn't expect is that it is such a hub of arts and culture and music and entertainment. I just thought of it as more of like a romance and like, you know, foodie city. But I really, really enjoyed the live street performers. I think that was really inspiring. I mean, the diversity in Paris, the amount of soul that some of those singers had. So I was really blown away by just the local talent that was there.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to get more into your music and talking about that and where people can go find you at. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm with Vinessa Burnett, and this is your boy, Mike V.
Mix of covers and originals, so gotta bring the vibes.
Yeah, no, you definitely got the aura. You definitely got what it takes to be whatever you aspire to be. So, nah, keep working on it though. And 30 is a great age. People think that's old. No, that's actually young. Because think about it. Think about people that are in their 60s or 70s. You don't think they wouldn't want to be 30 again? Absolutely. Yeah. It's a blessing to get to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm grateful for it. I love 30 so far. It's only been a week, but so far so good.
You're enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Did it drop? Okay. I'm glad that it didn't drop. But it's cool. It's cool like that. It's cool. Stay, nigga. Stay. All right. Anyways. Boom. All right. Cool. Alright, it's your boy Mike V. We're back with the Artist Block. I got Vinessa Burnett in this. Well, I was about to say. I don't want to cuss. Let me restart. Nah, because
what were you about to say?
I was about to say you in this hoe.
Oh.
But I didn't want to say that. It's okay. We can start over. We can start over. Alright. 3. What's good? It's your boy Mike V. You're now tuned into the Artist Block, and we're back with the Vinessa Burnett. And right now, we're going to get more into the music side of things right now. So, talk about Prime. You just made, 30, and that's a beautiful age. How does that reflect the music, and how does that, that translate into your real life? Like, what was the process of making the project Prime?
Yeah, okay, that was a loaded question. So, let me just start by saying what Prime is about.
Talk about it.
Prime is really me realizing that there is no set prime age or season in life, right? I think, especially as a woman, I recorded that album when I was 28, getting ready to turn 29. And as a woman, you can feel like you're like aging out of your prime, especially in your late 20s. And also looking at your life and being like, man, I'm not where I thought I would be. I thought I would be married by now. I thought I'd be further in my career. I thought I would have more money, whatever it is, right? And I think the ultimate realization that I concluded through the process of making Prime, and you'll hear it reflected in some of the songs, is that like it all works out. There is no set prime period or season of our life. As long as you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, like operating in your gifts and talents, living every day intentionally, you'll always be in your prime. It's not confined to a set age. So that's, I guess, to summarize what Prime is about, and just the process of making it. It was very cathartic for me. Like, I feel like it was something I felt like I needed to do. Like, in order to heal, in order to let go of certain things, in order to step into who I felt like I was being called to be. So a very personal, very real project for me. Like, it wasn't just something I decided to do for fun. I think what really sparked it, I had always toyed with the idea of releasing an album because I knew I had written enough songs, but one of my friends visited me. This is almost 2 years ago now, and before she visited, she was like, "What's the biggest, craziest goal that you could accomplish this year? Like, don't even think about what's realistic. Don't think about how much time you have. Like, what would be the craziest goal?" And I was like, recording an album. And she was like, "Okay, go do it." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I will make an album now." So I think shout out to my friend Elena for encouraging me to actually do it. And then, yeah, once I got started, it just snowballed, and I was like, I can't stop now.
Absolutely.
I have to do it.
What made you decided to put 10 songs on it? You only got 10 songs, so what made you just, because when I was listening to it, it was a really smooth transition from song to song. So what made you pick 10?
Yeah, I don't know if I set out for a certain number.
Yeah.
And originally when I started recording, some of the songs hadn't even been written yet. So for example, 29, Better Than This, which is actually like the single that I released ahead of the album, I didn't write that until a few months before the album came out. So I think I already had a set amount of songs that I was like, okay, these songs fit well thematically. Like, I could see the common thread between them. And then as I started recording, different ideas were coming to me, and I was like, ooh, I should include this on the album. Like, There Must Be a Love, the poem, that wasn't originally part of the album. And then, of course, I wrote 29, Better Than This, and I was like, I have to put this on the album, and that's going to be my first single. So I think it was just a process and a journey versus, like, a destination that I started with.
So, like, when you write your music, like, do you keep all of your rhythms? Like, let's say you're done with one project and you got, like, okay, this is, like, my written project right here. Like, do you keep all of your stuff? Like, you keep, like, all of your stuff with you? Like, let's say, like, this box right here, you got all of your rhythms. Like, do you ever throw any of your rhythms away?
I don't throw anything I write away. I also don't handwrite a lot of my lyrics, believe it or not. Like I've said, the songs just kind of come to me. Sometimes it's in the middle of the night, sometimes it's while I'm driving. So it's a combination of like voice memos, notes in my notes app on my iPhone that I've jotted down. Sometimes it's lyrics in an actual Google Doc. And then there are times where I write on a piece of paper or in my journal, but it just, the music comes out in all different formats.
Yeah, it comes naturally for
and
you.
I don't throw it away at all.
Absolutely. So what about, do you like poetry? You sound very poetic. You know,
yes.
So are you into poetry?
I'm into poetry. Yeah, I've written poems, and we talked about There Must Be a Love. That's a poem that's on the album. So I think poetry and songwriting, they go hand in hand. Some songs can start off as poems or vice versa. So yeah, I definitely think poetry is also an influence.
Yeah, no, that's dope. And I mean, I'm looking at your discography. You got some good stuff right here, like Until Springtime. That was the latest single. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we in the season of springtime. So like, have you performed that song yet?
I have. Yeah, I've been performing it live. That song Until Springtime. It came out in February.
Yeah.
And I just love that song. Like, it's just so musically rich. Not to like toot my own horn. That's all my producer, honestly.
Shout out to your producer though.
Shout out to Aaron, my producer, Paper Tone Studio. He's amazing. I had the vision for it in my mind, and you know, had came to him with the demo on guitar, and he really just transformed it and took it to the next level. But that song Until Springtime, I think it's I say every song I release is my favorite song, but as of this moment, I think Until Springtime is my favorite song. I play that all the time.
Yeah. So have you had any listening parties with your projects? Like, after you're done with your project, you have friends sit around and y'all listening to it and everything like that? What was like your first project you put out and you had a listening party? Like, was you kind of like looking at other people? Like, what was their reactions? Like, how was that? Like, you know, with the listening party?
Yeah, I had an album release party last summer, so July 2024, when I released Prime. And it was like one of the best nights of my life. Like, you know how some people say like their wedding was like the best day of their life. I think my album release party, best night of my life. I had a little over 70 people that attended. My whole family flew up from Florida. My best friends flew in, and so many people from just all different walks of life. People I've met years ago, people I hadn't seen in years that came out to support. And it was held at the Wine Therapist off of Skillman. Phenomenal venue, beautifully decorated. That's where I got this poster. I got the poster for the album release party. And I think it dawned on me like the week of the album release party that like I had never really performed in front of most of my friends. Like they had seen clips maybe on Instagram or heard me sing like in the car, but a lot of them had never actually seen me get dressed up, put on my guitar, and like perform my own songs in front of them. And that was kind of nerve-wracking because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I don't live up to the hype? What if I don't sound like the studio version of my songs? And they're like, okay, this is trash. But it was actually really beautiful. And yeah, I think the high that I was on after that night, it lasted for months. Like I just kept reliving it in my mind.
That's important when you get support from your family and friends, and they're really genuinely there for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really glad that you do have that support, because that can go a long way. Because some people don't have the motivation when they don't have the support.
Yeah.
So luckily you do have the support, but I know you're a strong woman, so you're gonna do it regardless. So you're about your business. I mean, what about the other, projects? I see you came out with something last year, 29 Better Than This. What's up with that one? Like, what was the process of, it's a single.
Yeah. So 29 Better Than This was the first single that I released, or only single I released ahead of Prime. So that song is on Prime. And I released that a few months before my 29th birthday. So my birthday is May 1st. And I was like, I have to release this. Actually, I released it on my birthday. A few months before the album is when I released it. The album came out in July. And I wrote that song. I went to a concert in February of last year. A guy named Ryan Beatty. He's a phenomenal songwriter. Definitely has influenced me, and you'll hear some of his influence in my album. But I went to that concert by myself, like I've done dozens of times. I go to a lot of concerts by myself because not everybody listens to my taste in music or is available when I want to go. But for the first time, I felt like actually alone at a concert. Usually I don't feel alone. I'm social. I talk to people, or that it doesn't even matter, right? Once the artist is on stage, you're not talking anyways. But
absolutely,
I don't know. I just remember feeling like, there's not really anybody here that looks like me. No one's interacting with me. And so he just has a different audience that I didn't see myself reflected in. But he did great. And so I just remember on the way home, the words for 29 just started to come to me. And I just was like, let me take out my phone, record a voice memo. And I pretty much wrote the entire song that night and hit up my producer the next day. I was like, I know we're like almost done with the album, but I have one more song that we need to record. And we have to record it quickly because I want to release it on my 29th birthday. And it's going to be the first single of the album. And he was game for it. And I think that was the fastest I've ever recorded a song. Like it only took like 3 studio sessions. And we cranked it out.
How often do you spend time in the studio? Like how often do you be in there? Like do you kind of set like a time, like I'm gonna be here for 2 hours this time or 3 hours? Like do it just happen, or like do you have like a set schedule for
once I have a project or a song in mind, then I'll book time with my producer, so I don't go just to like hang out anything like that. It's we're there to work, and usually 2 hours at a time. I feel like I need like a focus amount of time that's not too short, not too long. That way, there's time for creativity, for experimenting, and happy accidents to occur, but like it's still focused, right? I'm there to get things done. So usually like we'll do like 5:30 to 7:30
That's dope.
p.m.
Yeah, that's nice. So do you have any music videos out right now?
I do. I have the first music video I ever released, which is for Golden Girl. That's really my first single I ever released. I released that in the summer of 2021. So that's out, and then I have you can call it a music video that I released for Self Love. It's like an album release party recap / music video that I made for Self-Love last year, so that's out. But
Mm-hmm.
hopefully there's more music videos in the future.
Oh, Lord, absolutely. As talented as you are, you got more heights to climb for sure. Now, before we close it out, is there any shout outs that you want to give out to people that are watching right now? Any words of inspiration that you want to give out right now to the people that are watching?
Oh my gosh. So many words. It's like my mind is trying to blank. Okay, a couple things. One of my favorite quotes is wherever you go, there you are. And people are always like, what does that mean? What does that mean, right? It means what it means. Wherever you go, there you are. And so if you want to change your situation, or you don't like the job you're in, or whatever it is, right? Wherever you go, there you are. You have the ability to change your surroundings just by being you, just by changing your outlook, your mindset, by radiating positivity and light in any situation. So before you complain about things not looking the way you thought it would, just check in with who you are and what you're bringing to a situation. So that's one thing. Wherever you go, there you are. You are the most important person in your life. This is something that my mom always tells me. And if you listen to Prime, there's a song called Mom's Interlude, and it's basically my mom saying that over and over again. You are the most important person in your life, right? And so make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're putting your needs and desires at the forefront of your life. It's okay to be a little selfish sometimes. We have to be, right? Especially if you have gifts and talents that are inside of you lying dormant. You are the most important person in your life. And I think one thing too that I always tell my friends is, this is a short story, but basically my late grandpa, before he passed, he was sick for a while, and I remember him asking my grandma, why aren't I getting better? Why isn't God healing me? And my grandma was like, if you were given extra time, right, extra months, years, what would you do that you haven't already done?
Yeah.
And he couldn't even answer it. Why? Because he had lived such a full and rich life. He had operated fully in his gifts and talents. He had served others faithfully. He had been a husband for over 50 years, a loving father, grandpa. He was a musician. He was a pastor. He was a teacher. He was a carpenter. Literally everything you could think of. And I like to think that he died empty in the sense that he had poured out everything he could until there was nothing left. And so I always like to think of, how can we die empty? How can we die having used up every ounce of talent, of gifts and energy that we have? So that's the third thing I'll say, and the last thing. And then just thank you. Thank you so much, Mike, for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you to my friends, my family, for supporting me, for encouraging me. You all inspire me more than you know. And I just can't wait to see what's in store for the future. Oh, thank you, God.
Bright future. Thank you, God, for all things through Christ. And
Amen.
Look, music on all platforms. Tell them all the platforms that your music is on.
Anywhere you get your music, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Tidal, it's Pandora, wherever you get your music, I am there. Feel free to check in with me on Instagram too, at Vinessa95, and that's Vinessa with an I, so Vinessa 95. And then my stage name is my real name, Vinessa Burnett, so Vinessa Burnett, that's B as in boy, Urnett.
Got that flavor. Hey, this is all might be. This is Vinessa Burnett. We are out. Have a blessed one.
My smile be as wide as it is now, or the